lucky people still in the Watchdog Madness contest. So I'm going to go through those real quick. We have Brian Long with the number 1 seed, Alabama Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. We have Wayne Hicksonball. He's got San Diego State. We got Emily Dunn with Creighton, Logan Pruitt with Princeton, Tom Pruitt with Florida Atlantic, Chad Scott with Tennessee, Kansas State goes to Shea Wright, Craig Schneid with Michigan State, Brady Wagner has the Houston Cougars, Jim Alley, I'm rooting for you, buddy, the number 5 seed Miami Hurricanes. Let's go Canes. All right, Marcus Wood with Xavier, Xavier as it should be said, as Champ calls it, Xavier. Texas goes to Dave Kelly, Charlene Scott with Arkansas, Joy Adams has UConn, Gonzaga with Cannon Beresford, and UCLA with Glenn Staton. So good luck to all those people. Call us to the show here if you're excited about your team or you think you got a good chance. 304-214-1600, free owned stack auction service hotline. All right, we talked basketball, we talked baseball. Now we're going to stick with basketball. We're going to shift down to Division II level as we got West Liberty and Nova Southeastern both participating in the Division II Elite 8. And really quickly, the YouTube stream is live, so get over to the Pine Room Studio YouTube channel and click on our live stream tab, and you will be able to see us in action if you choose to. Coach Jarrett, Jubb, and I in the studio. Jubb, you can see him in the glass in the background, so pretty cool stuff. So feel free to interact as you see us each each 7 hours a week that we're on this channel now. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, you can interact with us, so we're going to have that going forward, but not to waste up too much of your time talking about that as we only have an hour today. But back to West Liberty and Nova Southeastern. Nova Southeastern, the number 1 overall seed in this Division II Elite 8, led by Coach Crutchfield. We're happy for him. We're happy for Coach Hallett, who has the number 2 overall seed, West Liberty. They will take on New Haven tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. in Evansville, Indiana, while Nova will face off with Missouri St. Louis. And I don't know I think that's a 7 o'clock game. I have 7 written, but for some reason I thought maybe it was 9. I think that's a 7 o'clock. So stay tuned. We'll be talking about those games. Thoughts, guys, on those games. I do have an exciting announcement to make. I will have those bet offerings over at the Wheeling Island Casino. So working on I was power rating the teams yesterday and today and starting to get my numbers in order, so I'll have those available. So if you want to get in on the action and wager on the West Liberty or the Nova games out in Evansville, stop on over or jump on the app and make a bet and enjoy those games. Guys, thoughts on the games? What do you anticipate happening here?
Well, there will be a change in our programming on Tuesday. E.J. Shodzinski will be out in Evansville doing some live interviewing, interacting with some West Liberty people, and doing a lot of things to promote West Liberty and get ready for the Elite 8. He'll also be following Coach Crutchfield and Nova. So excited for him being out there. You want to call in and talk to anybody about that tomorrow. Actually, it'll be tomorrow. The Hilltoppers tip it off at 3:30, and that's presented by Belmont Savings Bank. So
like the pregame show, then.
Yeah, it's almost like the pregame show. EJ's going to be out there. Hopefully, we can get all our equipment working, and it works out fine. We'll be here, so we'll be here 12 to 12:30 with our show, and then we're gonna probably send it out there several times to him to talk to a few people out there, some coaches, players, fans, cheerleaders, whoever. But that's presented by Belmont Savings Bank, good friend of the Pine Room Podcast. Thank you to Todd Cover and all the folks at Belmont Savings for once again supporting our radio station and the Pine Room Podcast. So good luck to the Hilltoppers. It's going to be fun. I think everybody back here is really hoping for that collision course. Long way to go to get there, though.
Yeah, it is
a long way to go.
And these teams, they're all good. I was going through some of the schedules and the teams that they played, and even though the number 1 seeds seemed to falter in the regionals, you got some strong teams here. Black Hills, who took out Nova last year in this tournament, they're in the mix. You got Cal State's San Bernardino. You got Lincoln Memorial, a great program. West Liberty's played them a couple of times over the years. Minnesota Duluth, New Haven, and Missouri St. Louis. None of these teams are to be overlooked, and I think that West Liberty, I think West Liberty may have drawn the better draw.
I agree.
Missouri St. Louis is in a very good league. The Great Lakes Valley Conference has been strong for years. I mean, they finished 5th in their conference and then won their regional. So,
wow,
very
that's amazing.
Deep region. New Haven played IUP earlier this year and lost to them by 5, so I don't think they're bad either. West Liberty took care of IUP pretty easily. But it's tough. The first games sometimes at these tournaments, you're in a new building, you're kind of feeling your way out. It can be troublesome. And I feel like when I worked at West Liberty, it was always like, if we could win the first game, I felt like we had a really good shot of winning it all. But that first game, you just don't know what to expect. And the other teams are all in the same boat. So, Jarrett, what are you thinking the Toppers can do here against New Haven tomorrow?
Man, I just, like you said, I think everybody's rooting for the Toppers to keep rolling here and for Nova to keep rolling and get into the national championship. I can't even imagine the excitement around here. And hopefully we'll just rent an RV and we'll head out there and go watch the game.
Evansville's awesome. It's a cool place. I've been out there a couple of times.
What's the drive from here?
About 8 hours.
It's about 7-8 hours. Yeah.
It's not terrible, but nice place. Ford Center's a really cool building. Great event. They do a really good job there hosting tournaments. Nice. The guys, I think they had their banquet dinner last night and stuff. So lots of cool things. Lead Eight's really fun. My boy Roy Pickerel's the head SID. He'll be taking care of all the media coverage and stuff out there. Hopefully he's as excited about it as the people around here are. Nova taking on Missouri St. Louis. I think Nova maybe suffers a little bit because they maybe didn't play the schedule that West Liberty played. I'm not saying that the West Liberty's conference the Mountain East was great this year, but Nova kind of went through a stretch of games where they were just crushing everybody. West Liberty at least had a few close games, so I think that could benefit them, and I think West Liberty's probably playing the best basketball that they've played in several years at this time, if I was going to make that assumption or that guess. What do we got going on in the baseball game? You guys seem pretty into this.
Yeah, the Toppers walked the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th and just got a strikeout and a pop-up, so we got bases loaded, 2 outs, still up 2-1.
They might wiggle out it. But I'm back to the game, Matt. I think Coach Crutchfield's sentiments, and he wasn't whining or he wasn't complaining, but I think he was a little concerned. He thought that Missouri St. Louis should have been ranked a little bit higher.
I agree.
He thought that was not a bad matchup, but a tough matchup. He thought New Haven should have been number 8 seed.
I agree. My numbers said the exact same thing. I actually had Missouri St. Louis significantly higher. I had them actually higher than Minnesota Duluth and Cal State San Bernardino when I rated them. So I agree with him. I think that you see a team that had like 7 or 8 losses, and I think that's why they put them there. And that's not good job by the committee. They should have done a little bit more homework because, like I said, their schedule, that league they're in is really good. You got a lot of losses piling up there, but doesn't mean the teams aren't all good. So I think West Liberty got the better draw here. But I've been in those game situations before, and we go into the game thinking we're going to roll this team, and it doesn't turn out the way you think.
Who do you think should have been the 8th seed?
I think New Haven. I agree. I would agree with Coach Crutchfield. I thought that New Haven should have been 8, Duluth should have been 7, Cal State San Bernardino should have been 6, and then Missouri St. Louis should have been about 5, at least for me. But I'm doing it from a betting standpoint. It's a little bit different, just power rating the teams and how they rank statistically in certain key categories. But talking from a betting standpoint, if West Liberty and Nova were to match up with each other, it's going to be about – right now I had Nova as about a 2.5-point favorite in the game, but that could easily change. Like I said, West Liberty maybe a little bit more battle-tested, but Nova is really, really good. So
where do you what is your early number on West Liberty New Haven?
Yeah,
7.5, 8?
So I had West Liberty right now probably in the 8.5 to 9.5 range. Okay. I'm gonna nail. I'm still kind of crunching, and then in the mid to low 160s for the total there, and then Nova in their game. I mean, it's going to be a little bit less than that. I think Nova will probably end up laying around 6.5 or 7.5. Missouri St. Louis, as we said, I respect them, and I like what I'm seeing as far as the numbers go with them. But Nova, if they get clicking, they're going to be hard to beat, and that total will be a little bit higher, I believe. New Haven, the lowest scoring team in this tournament, they're 128.6 points per game, which is extremely low.
Are you going to have lines on the other two games?
Probably
games?
not, because I just won't take
Okay.
any action on it.
Right,
Everybody
right,
cares
right.
about
That's
Nova and
what I
West
figured.
Lib, so we're just going to concentrate on those
That's
and
what I
put
figured.
those games up, and then we'll have their games as they advance. And
You're
hopefully-
not. You don't have a lineup on the Glenville women tonight, do you?
No, we just won't take enough action on it.
Did you look at that to see?
Yeah, that's probably Glenville. I had Glenville probably minus about 4.5 in the game. I think they're going to be tough. Tampa's good, but I like Glenville. So yeah, the Lady Pioneers in action tonight out in St. Joseph, Missouri. That's a 9:30 Eastern time tip as they take on Tampa. I actually had Glenville favored in the game. They're the 5 seed. Tampa's the 4. So
who's the 1 seed in the women?
Ashland.
Ashland.
Wow.
Out of
Ashland.
the what is that?
GMAC, right?
GMAC.
Yeah, over in Ohio. Yeah. So
Is that what-
Ashland's had a really good
Greater
program for a long.
Greater Midwest Athletic Conference, right? That's what it is.
I'm pleasantly surprised with Glenville. Honestly, the women. I thought with losing those 2 players that they and I had seen them play earlier at Wheeling, and Wheeling actually had them down like by 15 in the first half, and we're leading still by like 6 at half. And I was like, walked out of there. Glenville ended up winning by I think 8 or 10. But I walked out and said, this isn't the same Glenville team, but they have really put it together. And they were impressive in the Mountain East Conference.
She's done a great job, and she's to be commended for it. You lose your whole team off a national championship team. What happened?
Hey, we got a chat here from Zach. He says, "Can we get a Roy C update?"
Yeah, Roy C will probably be checking in later in the week. Huh?
I was gonna say, if you want a Roy C update, we got an actual a segment with Roy coming up in our Tuesday and Thursday show.
I actually talked to Roy C yesterday. I have his cell number, and he gave me a call because he was in town. He and Junebug were in town. And he said that Junebug has just fallen in love with West Liberty now. Like she, since Wheeling Park Girls got I guess she got to meet Bryce Butler, and she just went gaga over Bryce. So she's all in for the Hilltopper. So hopefully we'll hear from Roy C sometime here this week, and get update from Junebug and him and the trailer park and everything else.
His Parkersburg South boys got beaten in the championship this past weekend.
I want to talk a little bit about that. I heard there was some bad blood between the coaches.
Really?
Yeah, Parkersburg South and
Morgantown?
Yeah, Morgantown coaches had some bad blood.
Oh, my.
After the game. I don't know what I heard on Hoppy Kercheval's show that it was over Morgantown recruiting players, got that kid from university who left Morgantown, went to university, and then came back to Morgantown. I heard that's what it's about.
When are these high schools going to draw the line with this kind of stuff? I mean, it's like NBA free agency.
Yeah.
Just pick your spot and go.
It's I just wanted to circle back to Glenville and Tampa real quick. Something that has always just kind of blown my mind is that Tampa, the University of Tampa, is a Division II school in a city of probably 1 million people. And then you got a school like Glenville, who is also Division II, in a city of maybe a small town of a few hundred. That's always something that's just kind of blown my mind. I don't know. I think is so fascinating that you got this big town that's good that in it. They're probably Glenville probably is better than that team.
And you know what else, Jarrett? And you're right. But Glenville's fans, the whole town is going to be in for they're by their TV sets or their computers or they're driving out there. They're watching this game, and the girls probably get forgotten about in a city like that with all that stuff going on.
And same with West Liberty. I mean, West Lib fans are probably the best in the MEC, if not maybe the country.
Right. I bet West Liberty travels better than New Haven. Jubb, what do we got?
We got a caller on the line who wants to talk about some stuff.
All right, caller, welcome to the Pioneering Podcast. How you doing today?
Hey, Matt, Coach Jarrett, you guys sound and look great today.
You're checking us out, huh?
Well, yeah, I heard you say I caught you guys starting around 2:20. But Mark, you brought up about that Parkersburg South. I was watching that game and I saw South's coach Mike Fallon. This was during the game, was yelling down at Tolman. I don't know what it was about at the time, but then after the game had ended, he was going back at him again, and Tolman wouldn't even recognize him. But he was complaining about. I guess Morgantown recruited some kid that's going to West Liberty, some 6'7" kid, and I guess Fallon said something like, "Well, I guess my recruiting budget isn't quite as big as yours."
Yeah, I did hear that's what he said.
Man.
I heard that. Yeah,
was Hoppy talking about that today?
Yeah, he was talking about that. He had a writer from Metro, or a reporter from Metro News on, and he was talking about it. I guess they didn't shake hands after the game. And
Great example.
And
for
then
the
at the
kids.
press conference, I guess South's coach unloaded on Morgantown for recruiting or something. I guess
That's a bad look, if you ask me.
Well, it's not that.
He could have done it in a better way,
Right, not
Chris.
at that time.
He should have handled it in a more professional manner. I
Right.
don't disagree with him being upset about it, but the way he handled it, that's a terrible job. He's supposed to be a leader.
Yeah, it was a pretty poor example of sportsmanship.
But
hey,
I-
I wanted to let you go ahead.
But I did want to say to the listeners out there about Glenville, about Coach Kim Stevens. I sent that flag that you got down at their recruiting stand,
Yeah.
and I sent it to her, and she signed it for the Pine Room guys and signed national champions and sent us a couple of national championship hats. Hats off to Kim Stevens.
Yeah,
She
thank
is,
you, Kim.
Coach Kim,
as
thank
you said, Chris, she's a class act, and she's
She's wonderful.
just very humble.
Wonderful, and
Learned a lot of lessons from her dad, that's for sure.
yes. Hey, real quick, are they playing? You say they're playing tonight?
Yes, Glenville in
Glenville.
action tonight, 9:30 against Tampa.
Okay. All right. Hey, and then I'll let you go here. Hey, real quick, though, I heard you talking about Roy C. I ran into him at Lowe's. I didn't really know it was him, but I heard him talking to a clerk there, and he was talking about June bugs.
What did he have?
was
Some
there.
home repairs he needed to do up here when he was on vacation?
He was looking for insulation for that shed he's got.
Oh, he must have got a
And I
better
heard him
price
talk-
up here.
Yeah. So I mean, and I felt kind of awkward going up to introduce myself, but yeah. So I did see him. So he was in town, and I heard you talked to him, Coach. So it's always good to get a Roy C. update. Good man.
Yeah, it's good. I heard there's no tax on insulation and wheeling. That's what
okay.
I believe
Yeah,
that's
only in
one of the
wheeling.
reasons.
Only in wheeling.
But on blacktop, there must be a heavy
Yes,
tax.
heavy.
You don't have any of that.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
All right,
Yeah.
Chris. Well, thanks for checking in.
Guys.
All right, have
All
a good
right,
one.
Chris.
All right, Chris joining the program there with some good insight. We got some people checking out our YouTube. We got Zach, as they mentioned earlier. We have Emily and Hannah with some messages coming in there. And then I don't know, what's Stream Elements? It's a bot.
Yeah, that's our
it's
bot.
a bot. Okay.
That's
He's
our
a Russian bot.
He's our
infiltrated
moderator.
us. All right. Hello, Stream Elements. Good to meet you, friend.
We're talking also just want to hit on these high school championship
Sure.
games in the men's side. I heard those guys on Hoppy talking that they said James Monroe, if they had a battle of champions, all four
They'd win it?
champions, James Monroe, single A team, would definitely, and this guy was at all the games, was a high school guru. He said James Monroe would give Morgantown or any of those teams a battle. They said
That's cool.
they said they were that good, and
Wonder where some of those kids are going to go to college yet.
I don't know. He didn't say. I didn't hear any of that. But I guess Fairmont Senior beating Shady Spring was a bit of an upset because Shady Spring beat them by 20 during the regular season. So
Wow.
Fairmont Senior, I saw the press conference with Shady Spring. Those kids were a mess. I think they thought for sure they were going to win the state championship. But
They probably don't get the opportunity very often.
Well,
either.
Fairmont Senior, they said Dave Retton, arguably the best high school coach in the state.
Heck
said
of an
he's-
adjustment job there.
Said I think he's won 3 or 4 state titles since 2016.
Polar Bears.
And then Chapmanville beating Charleston Catholic. Heard that was a really good game. So, high school winter sports wrapped up for the season.
Shut her
And
down.
It's
Yeah.
time for baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
they
get going. Wheeling Park.
Hey, I had the pleasure of announcing Park's opener. Unfortunately, I had to play at West Liberty. Not unfortunately, but they're not on their home turf field yet because it's not done. But 1 hour and 15 minutes. I was at. It started at 5. I was done at 6:15. Kid threw a no hitter.
Miss it? Oh, okay.
No, kid, and he threw strikes. And G&D Genova, he gets the ball, he gets on the mound and throws it.
That's great.
And he throws it right down the middle and threw a no hitter, 6-inning no hitter. What's funny is it was 8-0. And I was hoping that he got to the 7th so he could get an official game no hitter, and they scored 2 on an error in the top of the or in the bottom of the.
Oh,
In
man,
the-
that's
in
on
the bottom
team.
of the 6th. Yeah.
Your teammates, they just got to strike out on purpose.
Oh
and let
man,
you get the
'cause I
no
was-
hitter.
he would 100% got a 7-inning no hitter.
That's
he
rough.
just rolled. But I thought I heard people talking about the length of baseball games, and it was hour and 15 minutes. Tommy Wilson was unbelievable. Called balls and strikes, gave those little edges, the corners, the strikes, and out in an hour and 15. I was ecstatic.
That's great.
So baseball rolling, softball rolling, all the spring sports now. Can't believe winter sports are over at the high school level. It's amazing.
Yeah, I
Before
feel
you
like
know it-
we, I feel like we just started talking about
I know.
basketball.
Won't be long. Football's
Yeah.
right around the corner.
Oh,
Here it
boy,
comes,
it is.
baby.
Right. Here we
You'll be
go.
hearing Jub on here
Jub's
talking
on the
about
edge
it.
of his seat.
Woohoo.
He can't wait.
Woohoo, he said.
Jub, what's new in your world? Did you enjoy all the basketball this weekend?
Yeah, having a blast. Just really doing well in that our little Pine Room, our Pine Room bracket pool. Really doing well. I think I'm blowing out.
Turn it
by-
upside down. You're in first.
Yeah, all the
Nick
way.
said he was embarrassed to be behind you the first day.
Yeah, but I guess there are bigger worries in the world. Not
Yeah, like 2 lives in a Florida guy,
exactly.
right?
Tune in
What
tomorrow.
do we got coming up? Well, probably won't be till
Oh yeah,
Thursday,
it won't be
huh?
till Thursday. Yeah.
We'll have a good show, so don't forget, 12 to 3. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit different as we're going to be going to EJ a lot throughout the show out in Evansville as he covers the Lead 8. And then Thursday, you'll be back to the normal format of the Pine Room craziness. So
Yeah.
please join us, noon to 3 on Thursday. What are we thinking here as far as these, if you look at the basketball games that are coming up on Thursday and Friday this week, any games that you were really looking forward to, Coach, of the NCAA games?
It's just, these are all fun games now. I mean, obviously, these are pretty good matchups, with teams that have battled hard to get here, So
Right.
I think it'll be fun 2 days, and then, and then a fun Saturday and Sunday, and then next week, Final Four. Getting down to Final Four, and the Masters right around the corner. So, good weather's coming. So,
We hope.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully. What day is the national championship? Is that
It's always on a Monday night.
Monday the
Yeah.
following. Not
two more weeks?
well, to be
2 weeks from today, correct?
that's correct.
yeah, 2 weeks
it'll be
from
2
today,
weeks
yeah.
from today. So,
Yeah, Final Four. will be
hopefully your Hurricanes get in. I'm sure you'd be excited.
That'd be fun.
You
I
might
volunteered.
have to actually stay up. Yeah, it could.
Yeah, I know. I have to stay up.
Matt
watch
might
it,
actually have to stay up late.
Why are they the volunteers?
Why is anybody
That-
called
that's-
anything?
That's a
But I mean, like, what's
Why-
the purpose? I mean,
don't
like,
know. They
if you
must
think
have some
about
it's a
Well, look
volunteer
it up.
requirement.
Texas
they're-
Christian, they're the Horned Frogs because down in Texas there's a frog called a Horned Frog. Why are they the volunteers?
their mascot's a dog. It's a blue
like-
tick hound.
oh
I believe.
yeah,
What's
He's
his
like
name?
the Smokey.
Smokey. Yeah. I don't know. Jub, can you get?
I'll look.
Rocky Top. Let's sing.
Yeah, Rocky.
Sing along.
Good old Rocky
304-214-1600 if you know why they're called the Volunteers.
Yeah, or let us know in chat if anybody.
Now, Bulldog's worn out, so the best nicknames here. I like the Owls of Florida Atlantic. That's cool.
That's
the
good.
Hurricanes. I'm partial to
Musketeers.
that.
This
Yeah, that's
this
good.
says the state of Tennessee had become known as the volunteer state when a large number of volunteers fought in the War of 1812.
Yeah, I should have known that actually. Now that I think about it,
yeah,
that's an easy answer.
Worst nickname by far, the Wildcats. That is the
I think
worst.
that's number one. I think that's
Horrible.
number one, though.
All I think
That's
about
Cougars,
is
Huskies.
I think
Tigers too.
Tigers,
Tigers is too.
I think actually Wildcats is the number one used nickname in all of college sports. I think.
it's horrific.
Why,
I think-
Wildcats and Tigers has to be too, right?
It's a national
Well,
travesty.
probably Eagles, Tigers. Wildcats, I think, is number one. We'll have to look that up. I think Wildcats.
Hook 'em
is one.
horns. That's a good one.
Eagles and Tigers have to be in there.
Speaking
obviously.
of Tigers and Tennessee, Tennessee baseball number 2 in the country got swept by Missouri over the weekend. Absolutely
Yeah.
embarrassed
College
by
baseball.
Missouri.
It's like for those good teams, they're just kind of getting prepared for the tournaments. You know what I mean? Like you can't get too high or too low. About
Real
that.
quick, we got
What
a
do
couple minutes left.
Yes,
number
sir.
1, Eagles. Number 2, Tigers. Number 3, Bulldogs. 4, Panthers, and 5, Wildcats.
Oh wow.
Wildcats was 5. What was number 1?
Number one was Eagles.
Heck,
Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Number
Boston College,
Number 100 was Stallions.
Stallions.
Who's Stallions? Who?
Who would be the Stallions?
college?
Not sure on
Probably
that.
Not many
Division
Stallions.
Division 2, maybe. Is that Division 1? Division 2?
Might be anything. That
Yeah,
might could include high school.
Hilltopper's got to be low.
Yeah, it's only-
Us in
there's
Western
a-
Kentucky.
There's a South
one
County
other team, I
school
think.
in Lorton, Virginia called the Stallions.
Lorton?
Okay. Well, you got all your mascot trivia.
Yes,
This is the place to be in the
Yeah.
Pine Room Podcast. Don't forget, check out our other stuff, the regular Pine Room Podcast, all this stuff on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, all that stuff. Better's Last Stand comes out every Friday. I give you some winners, hopefully. Soup and Stuff, always action-packed when Soup gets together with his guests. And be sure and check us out on social media at the Pine Room Podcast. Contact at thepineroompodcast.com and the online shop, thepineroomshop.com. Job may have some summer wear available, maybe some bathing
Yes,
suits or something.
Speedo.
Oh, boy, I don't know if we're going to see any of our guys in that.
I want to see Champ in a Speedo. He'll be our model.
He would be the guy, Ric Flair himself. All right, guys. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up. We got a big show tomorrow. Well, actually, we don't, but we'll be caddying for the show in Evansville. So look forward to that. Until then, the Pine Room guys will be back here Thursday too, 12 to 3. Any final thoughts as we ship off?
Go Vols and
yep, go Lady Pioneers, and we'll
Toppers.
talk more Toppers and Nova Southeastern Sharks tomorrow. Check us out on YouTube. A beautiful stream up. Good job to Jubb and Jared for getting that going. Lots still to come here for the Pine Room guys. We will see you tomorrow and Thursday here on the Watchdog. Have a great afternoon.